Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Sunday. All right, guys. Well, as you can see, it's so dark behind me. It's raining outside, so every time that happens, it just gets like really dark in here. I feel like we live in a big tree house. But yeah. Anyways, we're not back to talk about the light or darkness of the room in which I'm sitting in. We're back to talk about the fact that the cast is reacting to Tamra Judge quitting at least 3 times in the same season. Um, yeah, this was an interesting one. Guys, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Definitely don't forget to hit that notification bell, and let's just jump right in. All right, guys. So I think that the general consensus here is that the cast is really annoyed with Tamra Judge because they feel like every time they turn around, she is quitting the show. Um, this has happened a few times, right? So of course the cast is going to react to it because they all usually, as an ensemble cast, they're all supposed to have conflict resolution, have moments where all of them are under scrutiny, something's being questioned in their lives. You kind of get it. But I think that Tamara feels a little bit different about that. I feel like she thinks that this is sort of a pylon. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But Tamara declared that she was absolutely done with OC following the conflict with her castmates when she was doing the whole cake decorating party, when she was like, don't worry, there are no bows. And she ended up walking away and they were like, oh, she quit again. And it's like, oh, fuck. Okay. She quit again. My only thing about that is at some point, production and Bravo, NBC, they're going to get really frustrated with that. And I hope that Tamara doesn't let it get to that point because they'll get to the point where they're like, kind of like Denise Richards, where we saw the producers break the fourth wall and they were saying to Denise, like, if you walk away, like, we're done with you, because she kept on going, bravo, bravo, fucking bravo. Yeah, that could happen. They could end up getting to the point where they're like, we're not dealing with this shit. I don't know. The cast talked about the fact that Tamara's quit the show 3 times this season. One was in New Orleans, one was at the cake party, another one was outside during the tactical event. That was when she had the whole moment, the breakdown with Gretchen Rossi. But Heather Dubrow recalled those 3 exits and questioned Tamara's stability this season, saying, this isn't normal Tamara behavior. And Shannon agreed with Heather, suggesting that something's off with Tamara this year. But here's the thing, I don't feel like this is like a big, like, oh my God. Like, we're not playing Blues Clues or Investor Gadget here. Or Investigator Gadget, the Investigator, whatever the fuck his name was. We're not playing that game. Like, we can clearly see she is going through it with the whole Teddy situation and that this is affecting her. And when you have real life events go on like that with somebody who's so close to you, I think that that sort of changes the way that you are dealing with other conflicts in your life, especially if they don't feel as important. I remember when I got a call about one of my best friends who passed away, and I was working at a place called Lunetta in Los Angeles, and I was so annoyed because this person left me like $3 on like a $50 tab. And I was like, this is such garbage. Like, what the is this? And I was just pissed. And then I got this like text message and call from Jason. And I was like, oh, it really puts things in perspective. Like, this $3 tip doesn't mean anything. And I think that sometimes these moments do put things in perspective. But Shannon also agreeing with Heather and suggesting that something's off with her. I'm like, Shannon, you know absolutely what's off with her. But Jen Pedranti also criticized Tamara's pattern of storming off instead of owning up. And she said the group confronted issues honestly as friends, and she believes that the cast doesn't trust Tamara collectively. And she questioned when they will stop allowing Tamara to behave poorly and return freely. I do question that. I do wonder at what point are producers going to step in or Bravo's going to step in and be like, this can't happen again. And they might do it at the end of this season, going into next season, like, hey, you can't do that. That could happen. But Gretchen Rossi also accused Tamara of deflecting accountability. She claimed whenever someone calls Tamara out, Tamara runs away. And she alleged that Tamra cast herself as the victim and she shifts blame onto others. But Tamra, in her own after show segment, she pushed back, claiming that she's unfairly attacked from all sides. And she complains that she's damned if she expresses emotion. If I scream and I yell, I'm crazy, I'm a lunatic bitch. She said, I can't win. Every reaction is used against her by the cast. That's how she feels. Okay. This is going to be an interesting reunion, especially when she's saying that Katie Janela is going to show up at the reunion with all of these receipts. I'm just wondering, like, what are the receipts? What do you have? What's going on? Can you just like let us buy a bow? Like, are these receipts actual receipts? Are you just like giving us some bullshit? Or is she coming full force with like, oh, you want to see a gotcha moment? Gotcha. Mm-hmm. I want to know everything. But hold on. On top of that, here we go.
He says during the game at Heather's sleepover, she and Heather both picked Tamra when they asked who they trust the least. I don't think I've ever seen worse timing in my life.
It just made it tense the rest of the evening. Puts Tamra on defense at her own house.
How do you feel about Emily being upset at Tamra for meeting with Katie?
I don't think Emily should be upset with Tamra. I think Tamra needs this closure and needs to know this. And it's got nothing to do with Emily. She can meet with Katie, as she did yesterday and post it.
She wants more information because clearly Gretchers, which drives me much, clearly Gretchers isn't being honest.
Tamra should sit there and say, none of you guys trust me anyway. So what do I have to lose here?
Emily says during the game.
I mean, Tamra absolutely could say, none of you guys can trust me anyway, so what do I have to lose here? Yeah. I love Dolores, especially on Two Teas in a Pod, because I think that, well, you guys know that Tamra is not allowed to cover OC. That's a part of her contract. So somebody has to step in and co-host with Teddy covering OC. But I think that Dolores is like a good fit for it. But it wasn't just that. There was also this, and everybody is talking about it right now. Thank you to Bravo. OMG. OMG. They said everyone's freaking out that the Real Housewives of Orange County does not have a panel at BravoCon. They need to relax. Last time, Salt Lake City skipped theirs because the reunion was about to air. Same thing is probably happening here. Calm your tits, people. I don't think actually the Salt Lake City reunion was about to air at that time, just because that's when I met Monica. Was at the last BravoCon. I could be totally wrong. And I was just talking to Jason about it. And Jason thinks, well, that could be the time. I need to do a deep dive into the dates. I want to hear what you guys think. Guys, pop off in the comment section. If you guys are not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And we'll see you later. Bye, guys.